think pivot into this Leyline of Resonance deck. Seems like a good one to pivot into today. Although, Virtuoso is like so important to this list, and we got told that maybe it's bugged. And I was testing this in the solo queue. I wasn't getting any counters on the Virtuoso, but we'll maybe just see if that's the case and then decide if that's what we want to do. But so what's cool to me about Virtuoso in the shell is you get to connive away extra copies of Leyline if you draw into them, which is cool. And then I really want to play Leyline of Resonance, which is whenever you cast an instant or sorcery that targets a single creature you control, copy that spell. You may choose new targets. I want to play it in this kind of Boros Magecraft deck where you get a Magecraft trigger when you copy things with Leyline of Resonance, and then you can exile those copied spells with Nivmagus Elemental to grow it. Ground Rift also triggers Magecraft trigger, gets eaten by Nivmagus Elemental, and you could also target all of your Ground Rifts on your Illuminator Virtuoso, and then you get to connive a lot too. And then Ancestral Anger is also really exciting to copy, to draw a bunch of cards. Homestead Courage, I think, is a card I still like in the shell, something to discard for value and cast multiple spells. But I'm gonna get going, and then if Virtuoso is bugged, we may just like power through it for a league and then be really sad. And then we have a keep, and I guess we get to test the Virtuoso pretty fast here. Potentially. Gigantha Leylines of Domain Zoo. Certainly happy to be on the play against Domain Zoo. Decided to not run a Surveil land in these like super duper aggro decks. Like Prowess, but I do run them in like the Delirium like graveyard focus build. Although we do have like a lot of graveyard focus cards here. Very unlucky to not have Leyline, by the way. Zerk with the Twitch Prime into tier 1, thank you so much. I don't know why that never notifies. But thank you so much. Alright, I attack. GG's. So my opponent is responding with Leyline Binding on Nivmagus Elemental. Now, I don't think it's super likely we untap with this card, but I am going to be a little scared that the Connive is broken. I don't know, why would it be broken? Like, Connive has been like, works on all the other cards. Okay, they just have 2 bindings. Lucky for us that we have 3 creatures, I guess. Infer and Flow, thank you for the 8 months. Appreciate you. Now, I'm pretty sure I just want to pass. Assuming that the bug is not the case. The Mutagenic Growth protects us from a bolt. We really just lose 2 of Flames or another binding. And, you know, if they just have 3 bindings in their opening hand, you know, what are you going to do? They untap in Flames. So just got to let that go, I guess. The lag is so bad. I guess that's what's going on with our opponents today. We're going to restart. Drop and run God's Willing. Well, we have 4 protection spells, but the rebound protection spell is the best one because you get multiple options. And now I've dropped into update the worst possible. So now the 51 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. Hope we see Shark Typhoon playable again someday. Me too. Maybe the restart will help with the lag, though. Is Arena still down? So this is always the problem with this deck too, is it's like your opponent just has 3 removal spells you can't protect from in their opening hand, and then you have to wait till you draw another creature. Funny enough, we didn't get to test the bug. Be pretty exciting if I drew a Slickshot Show-Off. Would probably still just plot it though. Do some math, I guess. They loot away a Leyline, hit me for 5 down to 12. Nivmagus Gigantha kind of sucks. I don't think it's a big deal, you know. Gigantha just isn't a card that wins you very many games. I'm going to try to cycle Ancestral Anger so maybe I can draw into a protection spell for a Flames on their turn. We can beat a Bolt. I guess we can beat a Flames anyway with Mutagenic Growth, but we're beating a Flames right now. Orcish Bowmaster. So I'm at 10, and then I'm going to be going down to 9 after the Bowmaster ping. Evolve with a Twitch Prime, thank you. Haven't you always said Gigantha wins you so many games you wouldn't win otherwise? Yeah, I don't know. We get into this like dialogue tree sometimes. It's never really very helpful, and I'm kind of confused how like people get so stun locked by it. But like, Gigantha does win you like in any game where you come down to top decking, where both players are removed of resources, low on resources. Yes, Gigantha is very, very good, very powerful. It's always been like this. It is also not a huge deal to lose Gigantha, but the fact that some decks just get it for free is the big deal. The fact that some decks just don't do anything and they get a free... sorry, I guess I should have Mutagenic Growth and blocked. This is like -2 life to save 2 life. That's, you know, kind of the issue or whatever. But it's like, yes, Gigantha's good. It's not such a... But the difference between having Gigantha and not having it is not a huge deal. And I don't know how to not get people stun locked on this. Okay, so we're bringing the Blacksmith skills, going to cut the Homestead Courages, and click submit, I think. Evolve with the Twitch Prime, thank you, welcome back. I'm never like gonna be like, you know, like we're just testing out Leyline of Resonance too. And I hate Gigantha so much. I don't Gigantha's like the most boring card in Modern. I don't want to be like, oh no, we've lost our Gigantha. It's pretty, but it's pretty rare that I'm making a lot of concessions in my deck building for Gigantha. Man, they have their Leyline? So one cool thing about this deck too is that your Slickshot Show-Offs can contribute to a bigger storm count for your ground rifts. Evolve again, thanks to Twitch Prime. My opponent says, hello. It's an honor to play against you. We're going to get crushed. No Mutagenic Growth this time. Upkeep, stop. But there's a Nivmagus Elemental. That potentially will be quite large and quite in charge, especially if we draw a land next turn. But maybe we'll be very weak to Leyline Binding. So no Scion is nice. Okay, I think I'm just going to go cast 2 Nivmagus Elementals. If my opponent has 2 more 1-mana removal spells here, it sucks. But if they don't, then I get to go show off Ground Rift, and potentially grow 1 or both of these Nivmagus Elementals next turn. Our protection spell we have 4 main deck Emerged Unscathed, which I think are the best of the protection spells because their rebound can be eaten by Nivmagus Elemental, trigger Magecraft, trigger Slickshot Show-Off, trigger your Virtuoso. And we have a couple more Blacksmith skills in the sideboard. Is the Nivmagus from a previous version of a brew? Yeah, a very old build, but a build we used to have a good amount of success with and is now better because of the Leyline. This whole deck is like an updated build. Okay, so dead Nivmagus Elemental. I guess they're never attacking here. Lava Dart would be a kind of a good pickup. Okay, so I cast my Slickshot Show-Off, and then I can go Ground Rift, eat 2, or I can maybe go Emerge Unscathed on the Elemental on black, then Ground Rift to... Yeah, I think then Ground Rift to grow. Oh yeah, I guess with Leyline we can actually name any color. It's kind of funny. So just name black, I guess. All right. So storm count is 3. Are they dead? They're not dead. They've gained. They haven't lost any life. They haven't lost any life to their mana. They're at 23 life. I'm attacking them for 12 though. And now my Nivmagus, like my elemental's at a 9/7, which is pretty large, pretty in charge. And our second Ground Rift will have a storm of at least 2 next turn. Because we have the rebound Emerged Unscathed coming. But they just Leyline Binding. Seems like a tough matchup, but this may be maybe something we say a lot. Although their deck has so much removal. So much removal. Pretty hand. Let's keep on the play against a Gigantha. Yeah, removal is still good against Prowess. Oh, like specific like exile-based removal, 5 damage removal too. We haven't seen a Leyline yet either. So I can go Anger, Mutagenic Growth, Ground Rift. This is 1, 2, and then 5 or 3 triggers. So 6 or 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, just plot a Show-Off. And then I'll just take this hit from Ragavan. Wooded Foothills. Usually you see white fetch lands in Boros. Could they be something else? Could this just be Domain Zoo again? Back-to-back Domain Zoos? Yeah, it could be the Naya energy deck too. Okay, back-to-back Domain Zoos. So we'll go cast. Actually, do I just Ground Rift? So this is 10 power, and then this will be 5 power. Yeah, that sounds like lethal to me. They do have a mana up, but Bolt doesn't do it. It has to be like exactly random Fatal Push, which you don't see too often in Domain Zoo. Remember they printed Lumimancer. Everyone thought this card was going to be so big. Me too. Also, when they printed it, it was like right before Image 2 and Prowess was like super popular. All right, Leyline hand. Give me a Leyline. A nice 7-card Leyline hand. Yeah, it was pretty big that game. When I was solitaring, I had like Leyline like every single time. I did lost games Luminance. Yeah, me too. But it's just like when it got printed, like Prowess was the best deck in Modern or one of the best decks, and people thought this was just gonna be such a big changer. Yeah, I've not seen a Leyline once yet. But that also includes top decking it at least. Does Ground Rift have a special interaction with Leyline? No, it's just that a lot of the cards we're playing care about copying spells. So like Ground Rift is very good with Nivmagus Elemental, Clever Lumimancer, and Virtuoso. Not so much Slickshot Show-Off, but like you just want to play it with these cards if that makes sense. No Leyline. Let's keep though. I like that I could Lava Dart or Ragavan on turn 1 and then go like Nivmagus Elemental with Blacksmith skill up. Not gonna just tap out for the elemental here. I maybe I would if my opponent only had like bolt or galvanic discharge as removal though. Okay, Scion with no Leyline is not so scary. Leyline. Can Nivmagus Elemental exile copies of spells on the stack? Yes, and that's in fact why we're playing it. You might have watched the last game where I exiled the, or I guess that was in the last game. But yes, you can exile your copies of Ground Rift. You can exile the copies with Leyline too, which is why it's exciting in this shell, I think. So I'd love for them to like Tribal Flames here and then not have another good card. And I get to Emerge Unscathed and use the rebound. And I would hate to see this. Just one card and 2 counters. So my opponent is trying to cast a removal spell, but they can't because of the Damping Sphere. So there's my opponent is saying that they have a Lightning Bolt in their hand. This could be like the best bluff of all time. I'm not exactly convinced that that's what we're seeing. I think I'm going to draw my card. I would really like to find a land. We have another Ancestral Anger in the yard. It is a bit tough to not have the extra counters. Okay, so now I just get to exile the Ancestral Anger for the counters, which is actually pretty cool. And then I get to attack for 5. Now I'm out of Flames range. I think Leyline is awful. There's one man who can make it work at Spike. Well, it's definitely good in this deck if it's in your opening hand. It's going to be better in most decks if you draw it in your opening hand. Okay, so hopefully they don't have another Stubborn Denial here. They can't have another Binding. Or Protection from Weight. Would it Mutagenic Growth if they have a Damping Sphere in play? Okay, so we're going to target our Nivmagus Elemental here, but I'm just going to exile this to the Emerge Unscathed. If I draw a land... Yeah, I mean, there's not really much that like gets us here. So they don't have white mana up. Okay, get crushed by Domain Zoo, then crush Domain Zoo. I've not seen a Leyline in 5 opening hands because I think we mulliganed 1 time. On the draw. Gonna keep this one. Although no Leyline again. Basic Forest. Amulet of Vigor. Okay. Well, we probably have a turn 3 win here. We'll see if my opponent just, wins the die roll and wins the match because of it. If we had had a Leyline, we might have had a turn 2. Not sure. Is Lorien's Escape better than Blacksmith's skill? Yes, I think maybe when I built this deck, Blacksmith skill wasn't available yet. Or sorry, Lorien's Escape wasn't available yet. I started off a really old draft. Alright, I'm going to play my Virtuoso, have very lethal available next turn. We may just get Ring into Titaned, we'll see. Any thoughts on Doom's Belcher deck? I mean, looks cool. Is there like a good damage can't be prevented combat trick? I don't think that there is. Uh-oh. Don't like them to tap 1 mana, then untap. That's another amulet a lot of the time. They play a Myconith Gardens. So if they have a Grazer and a bounce land, they can cast a Titan. But they just copy an amulet and then they pass. Wow, that is lucky. Okay, so here's where we get to test, is Illuminator Virtuoso bugged? It was bugged for me when I was doing my... Yeah, come on, dude, why? We're still gonna win, but like we should have 1 counter, 2 counters. And we just don't, which is just kind of a bummer. Oh, sorry, I should have exiled that. They're super dead though, so it's maybe not something we need to be too upset about. You'd be a little upset about it though. Oh, sorry, I also need to be targeting this for the connives. So like it's like in theory, this Virtuoso should have a million counters on it right now, because this is the plan or whatever. But like, how is this bugged? I guess nobody plays this card but me. It's putting the counter on the spell. How? Like I straight up have played this deck before, and this deck used to work. Why is this the only connive creature that's bugged? Fear Fire Foes. It's not exactly what I'm hoping for. I'm looking for like a pump spell, but thank you for the feedback. And it's like the Virtuoso is so good in this deck, and it's like so important because it connives away at Leyline. Like I was so excited for this. Oh, sorry. I'm also like just connive brained where I'm like discarding spells, but I guess I need to be discarding lands now. Complain the whole time, attack for 1,000,000. But you should be at like -50 right now. -60. Okay, so we are going to be on the draw against Titan. We're mostly just trying to go fast against them. I don't know if I'm supposed to bring in Smash to Smithereens. I think I'm going to play like 1 copy over like Lava Dart number 4. Is it parsing the text of say whenever you cast a spell, that spell connives? I guess so, yeah. It's recent. I noticed over the weekend. No, the first time I want to play Virtuoso in years. It's bugged. Okay, Mulligan Zerolander. And there's a Leyline, baby. Let's go. It was easy to have this card in your hand. Radiant Fountain. Amulet of Vigor. Oh no. I checked bug reports, confirmed, and in progress bug. Thanks, Mark. So this is basically 8 counters, and this is 4 counters, so I can put 12 counters on my Nivmagus next turn. Maybe a Ground Rift could be lethal. Maybe another Mutagenic Growth. 12. So another Mutagenic. This is 15 power. Another Mutagenic Growth would yield 19 damage total. Can't you? Oh, you can't flashback if you exile the front half, right? So I can't exile the front half of this, so that's basically -1 counter. But I can exile this, and then counter here, and then we don't mind exiling the flashback. I think I'm just gonna go for it to like just as much damage this turn as possible to make the ring worse, and maybe I could like find a lava dart to finish them off. Just gonna go and get a little screenshot here. I'm going to update the screenshot. and go to game 3. Pognify! Ah! I think I'm just gonna keep the 4 protection spells in. Can someone clip that? I think that might be a good YouTube short. We have a Leyline, we have a 1-lander. This is obviously a spot where a Surveil land would really kick in. I think I just have to mulligan on the play. I think I'm putting back the 2-drop here. I think squee. Alright, so I'm gonna Emerge Unscathed on green, then attack for 2, and then probably eat the Emerge Unscathed on the backswing with the Nivmagus Elemental. Alright, Forest and Mirror Pool. So I'm going to go ahead and just target whatever, but we're going to just use this to actually get 2 counters and +2 on the Clever Lumimancer. And then seems like probably a good time for me to pump here. And I think we're just going to attack now. No, I'm going to dart, flashback, dart. So I could deal +6 damage, +7 damage because one of the darts will resolve. I guess both could darts, +8 damage most. Yeah, it's not like really super relevant against the ring. I think I'm just going to hold the dart for now. Ring-a-ding-ding. If I'd given Nivmagus Pro Green, would it have been lethal? I don't think it would have been lethal. But I should have double checked. It would have been I would have Emerge Unscathed, Lava Dart. So this would have been 10 total. Exiled this +6, 9. Maybe it would have been. Maybe it would have been. Because this had trample. Yeah, they could have gained 3 life by blocking with Lumimancer. They may have also been like dead to their 1 ring. I probably should have just pro greened the Nivmagus Elemental and then sorry, I only get to exile the 2 darts. So this would have been not 9 power. This would have been 7 power. 3 mana. Getting spelunked here. There's exact seas if they don't block, I see. So they would have been dead to the ring damage this next turn, potentially. We may be getting play patterns here. Maybe just a Titan? Can I beat a Titan? I might be able to beat a Titan. Looking worse and worse. So are they gonna just get Cultivator Colossus? They grab a Dryad. So they can't go Dryad Titan, can they? Oh no, they have enough mana. Yeah, so they just get Valakut, Handwar Battlements, and then kill me. Just make sure like the Battlements isn't in the hand or something. Or maybe they're on like Garrison Slayer Stronghold, although I think that's been a lot less popular. I mean, I'm not dead yet. Radiant Fountain. Radiant Fountain? Not looking very good, but we're gonna play this one out. So if they get Valakut, that's 12 damage, but I can actually stop the Titan. Okay, so they just get 2 bounce lands. So, do I just take 6? I think I just take 6. I don't think... It doesn't seem like they're going to deal me 8 more damage. It doesn't seem like I am going to do much more than just attack next turn. I am going to go in and cast Emerge Unscathed, but I'm mostly going to be just using the rebound, like a 0-mana rebounder, so I could draw into like a 2-mana spell and play it, or like Anger into something and play it. Probably playing around Deflecting Palm. I don't know that that's probably what they're doing, but it might be what they're doing. They have Otawara. Okay, we're looking for... We're going to try to connive into land Ancestral Anger, and then that probably still is not quite enough. Oh my gosh, but then if this wasn't bugged, then we would get the counter and the dart doesn't kill the Virtuoso. Yeah, I think we just need to wait until this bug is fixed. Like, the Virtuoso is just so important to building the deck this way. It connives the Leyline away. And you can dart your own Virtuoso and like discard dart and chain the stuff, but it just doesn't work because of the bug. The spells at the moment are getting the counters. But I think I'm going to be... I saw in your Mox Field you made a Mono Red Wizards. I've never played Mono Red Wizards. All Wizards shells have a Flame of Venor, so...